calling WWE out. I'm calling Triple H out because this company has made a big mistake with Jey Uso. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what that big mistake is, what they did, and how they can fix this mistake, because Jey Uso is over. The fans have followed this man in his journey throughout this company for over a decade, right? Go back to the early 2010s and look how horrific the Usos were. They have come a long way, y'all. Those matches were a little brutal. Their look was even more worse. It was horrible, in fact. Do y'all remember when they were paired with Tamina? Oh boy. But they have come a long way. And Jey Uso, more importantly, he's come a very long way. He's someone that the fans have literally watched grow up. It's almost like the Cody Rhodes effect, where they've seen this man mature and grow as a performer, as a man, right? That is where fans are able to connect with Jey Uso. That is why the fans are so invested in him. And so when you go from a run as a tag team star, and then you go into a single star, that progression is very pivotal, right? How do you go about it? Well, if you've looked at what they've done with Jey Uso, and then you look at what they've done with his brother Jimmy Uso, it is night and day. And of course, the fans play a large part in that. In my opinion, and we haven't seen Jimmy Uso on television in a few weeks now after being kicked out of the bloodline, I think it's very clear that Jey Uso is clearly the star of that tag team. And they are one of the greatest tag teams in pro wrestling history. Okay? They're at least top 10 in WWE history. They are phenomenal. But what Jey Uso has done on his own is even more remarkable if you think about it, right? And it goes back to the pandemic. It goes back to 2020. It goes back to his feud with Roman Reigns, our tribal chief. Oh, I've missed Roman Reigns on television. Anyways, you go back to that feud. That was the moment Jey Uso became a superstar. Not a star, a legit superstar, main event caliber, to the point where they literally call him main event Jey Uso, right? If you look at that feud, that is what put this man on the map. It really, really is. So with all that being said, we've watched him go. We've watched the progression. What is this big mistake that WB made? It's an ongoing trend, and I don't understand it. He is losing in big matches. They cannot get out of their way with this, and I don't understand it. It goes back to him losing to Damian Priest, right? Our World Heavyweight Champion at Backlash, France, for no good reason. First of all, you did not need to put that man in that match. Okay? You did not need to put that man in that match. There would have been other challengers there. You already sold the joint out. It's not a stadium, right? You could have put X, Y, and Z superstar in that slot and lost to Damian Priest. But what did they do? What did this company do? They took Jey Uso and they put him in a match where there was no way he was ever going to win that match. He was never going to win that match. Damian Priest, he cashed in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania on Drew McIntyre and won the championship. And then at that time, instead of just booking him as a dominant champion, as a dominant heel champion, what do you do? What do you do, Triple H? You start booking him as a tweener. He's going to split away from the Judgment Day. He's going to turn babyface. So what do? You go into Backlash France. You book him in his first major title defense against Jey Uso, a guy who is mega over with the fan base right now. You have Damian Priest retain the championship, yet you don't get heat on Jey Uso. Yet you don't get good heat, on Damian Priest. Because you had outside interference from Judgment Day in which Damian Priest didn't even want. So it took away from Jey Uso because he lost. And there was nothing good about it. Because Damian Priest didn't even want it. So instead of this, man, I can't believe Jey Uso got screwed over. Dang that Judgment Day. Jey Uso got screwed over, but what are we doing? Damian Priest is upset with Judgment Day. Like, all the focus was on the split. The tease, the babyface tease for Damian Priest. Then we go to the King of the Ring. He makes it all the way to the semifinals. This is Jey Uso's time. This is Jey Uso's moment. This is going to get his big win. He goes up against Gunther. And they have Jey Uso lose again. Well, it's Gunther. He was meant to win this tournament. Why? Why is he meant to win this tournament? Why? You had an easy out. You had the out. You could have taken the out, but you didn't. I understand that Gunther had a long Intercontinental Championship reign, and I understand that Gunther lost the Intercontinental title to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 40. And I understand that he needs big wins, but this man just went undefeated, practically, right? And had a long title reign. He's built up credibility where he can take a loss or two every once in a while, right? He's won several matches since WrestleMania. You had an easy out. You didn't have to beat Jey Uso. Jey Uso could have went on and won the King of the Ring tournament and given him something, and it would have gave him more credibility instead of Gunther, who is already built up as a future world champion, as someone who is already seen as a main eventer, as someone who is seen as an elite performer, and a dominant one at that. What did you do? You didn't take the easy out. You had Gunther beat him. All you had to do was get Jey Uso to do a quick roll-up on Gunther. That's all you had to do. And then him run out of the building. Gunther keeps his heat, right? It was a cheap win for Jey Uso. It doesn't hurt Gunther, but by God, Jey Uso, he's going. He was able to outlast and outsmart this dominant performer. That would have been the storyline. That would have been the easy way to do it, but they didn't do that. They had Jey Uso lose yet again. And I'm concerned as a Jey Uso fan that if WWE does not start taking Jey Uso big matches seriously, then us, the fans, will not either. And when Jey Uso does get his big opportunities and big matches, we won't believe in him. If you even go back to earlier this year when he was feuding with for the IC title, when he had an opportunity against Gunther on a Monday Night Raw, he got screwed over by Jimmy, right? Now, I understand that he went over his brother at WrestleMania 40. I get that, but everybody and their dog knew it was coming. He had to get his revenge. He had to get his payback. Come on, y'all. We got to be very careful with Jey Uso matches. I'm a little concerned.